welcome to Corinne's Picks. I'm your host, Corinne Basabe. Today we have a very special guest. We have Dean Greenaway, a freelance journalist, a photographer, and talk show host from the British Virgin Islands, Tortola. Welcome to the show, Dean.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
I'm so glad you agreed to be on this show. I've been watching all this wonderful work you've done on capturing the culture of Tortola. Tell us a little bit about what you do with your work as a photographer.
Well, I've just retired. Well, I retired about 3 years ago from government, and I planned my retirement at 21, so I'm executing it now. I'm a sportscaster by profession. Well, I was a sports officer with government. I'm a sportscaster. I write for the Virgin Islands Daily News and the Island Sun. I contribute to Life and Style magazine. I have I'm a sportscaster for two stations on a daily basis, and I host a 1 hour show every Thursday, the Sports Beat magazine, which is going to be in its 25th anniversary on April 1st.
Tell me a little bit about I'm not a big sports person, but I know that sports is one of your two loves. You love capturing the culture of Tortola, but I know that you love sports. Tell me a little bit about that and a little bit about the Olympics, because I know you cover the Olympics too.
Well, sports is my forte. I usually say I was an athlete. I competed for the Pasadena City College and the University of Colorado. I won the 1979 Big Eight 400-meter championships, the title. I represented the BVI at the Olympic Games, Pan Am Games, Central American Games. I've been the president of the Athletics Association. I've been the chef de mission to the Central American and Caribbean, Commonwealth, Pan American, and Olympic Games. And I've also been a photojournalist, accredited photojournalist at all of those as well. I first went to the Olympic Games in 1984, and I've been at the Olympic Games in 2008 and 2012 as the Secretary General of the BVI Olympic Committee.
Sports is like a foreign language to me, but I would love to see some of those images. I hope that you'll be back and we can do a show on some of those
Oh,
the images of
definitely.
the athletes and the sports in the Olympics and in Tortola. So tell me a little bit about some of the work we're going to see today in terms of capturing the life and culture in Tortola.
Well, what I have basically been doing is, as I said, I planned my retirement when I was 21. I knew what I wanted to do when I retired, but not what I wanted to do at the time. So a lot when I was growing up, I did a lot of stuff going on the reef, catching fish, being on the beach, things like that. And you don't see that kind of stuff in Colorado. So I decided that eventually when I come home, I'd get back into that. So as far as I concerned, I was 17 when I left the British Virgin Islands. So right now I'm between 20 to 23 because I'm catching up on all the things I missed and doing all the things I couldn't do for a while now that I'm retired. So I'm capturing a lot of the cultural images and scenes. I'm going to be putting together some productions, cultural productions, and also things on sports, which would also be on my Facebook page, VI Sports and Culture.
I think some of the images you capture really from a time gone by. I don't know how many people are still burning coal and doing some of the things that they're doing in some of the videos that you have. I actually want to show that number one video, the Christmas video, because even though it's not Christmas anymore, but it really captures a lot of the folk culture, but also the music and just how we celebrate in Tortola the culture of the Virgin Islands, because it's the British Virgin Islands, but it also stands through for the American side too. We're really one group of people. So can I see that first video having to do with Christmas in the British Virgin Islands?
You get in a kind of a man, you have to use the flashlight or the light in the
Goat head soup?
So this
stand it to get it stiff. And then you see some of the older folks who will do something like this.
This is going back from the 1600s, so it's actually more than 400 years. It has extra sugar cane and this one more sweet.
Okay, here we go.
Good evening.
Some doctor inside there. Fine doctor. Well, we have found the spot. I noticed, as you say, you have your things in section. Bye, Gregory, walking that ground. Oh, we wish you a Merry, Merry Christmas. Oh, we wish you a Merry, Merry Christmas. Oh, we wish you a Merry, Merry Christmas. Yeah, fire right in the belly. Ah, that wind. Trying to get her out. So, Fancy, tell me what happening here now. You make all these pattern work.
Everything that I catch on my land, everything that's bite on my land, I can tell you what kind of video before I put in the boat.
Mr. Bye? Yeah, yeah, man. God, lobster on the grill.
That is, it's just a miraculous video. Can you tell us a little bit about the videos and some of the things that were happening in some of those images?
Well, first of all, I started VI Sports and Culture Facebook page in 2020. I focused on athletes for Christmas that first year. Last year, what I decided to do is focus on the cultural side of what happens in the British Virgin Islands. And everything except about 3 videos were done all last year. So it shows you what is actually happened. So everything has happened within the last 2 years in the British Virgin Islands, which is what you would see people doing in the British Virgin Islands at this time. People still with the cultural traditions that have gone on and that we all grew up with.
That makes me really happy because I there's a competing culture in terms of, you know, the cell phones and modern TV, and we live in a modern world with microwaves and things like that. So it's really heartwarming to know that people are still practicing some of the old technologies, like pulling fish pots from the ocean, knowing how to even weave a fish pot, make one of those fish pots. Um, Burning coal, that I didn't know that people still burn coal.
Yep.
We're used to going to Home Depot and buying a box of coal.
Nah,
So I'm
that
glad
don't
that
cut it.
people still know how to do that.
That one don't cut it. I'm waiting on another supply of coal right now so that I can fry my fish. You know, coal is something that people still burn. You have women that do it. You have at least 2 women that I know here in the British Virgin Islands that does it. The lady up in the first clip, and I think you saw her later on, she was picking the wood to actually bake bread in her oven. So I have found a few people who still do the outdoor baking, which is nothing tastes like that. And people also put in meat and other things to cook in there. So you do bread, you do your tarts, all these different things like that. So the culture is alive. Even though there's cultural penetration and a lot of the younger persons are gravitating towards that, but I have been trying to show people what is, what was, and what, trying to get younger people involved. And from some of the clips, I think one of the clips you would have seen a lady with something with baking bread and the little guys. What they are doing is every November there's a culture month. So students are given the exposure and the opportunity to connect with the culture, learn about these things, and try their hand at it so that they get a feel of what's going on.
I think it's very significant because now in our lifetime, we see that we have hurricanes almost every year. And I think one way of surviving hurricanes is using some of the old technologies that don't require electricity. At least the day after a hurricane, you have fuel to cook your food.
Mhm.
Um, you have ways of gathering water, the old way of gathering water in cisterns or oil drums. So you can survive using both the new and the old.
Yes, definitely. Well, I mean, the hurricanes produced a lot of wood and there was a lot of coal. I know a few people who have, this lady had coal for about, I think, almost 4 years from all the wood that she had. She was able to make coal and produce for other people.
And so, was one of the ladies making cassava bread? Was that cassava bread she was
Yes,
making?
yes, yes. She was showing it how they cool it off in the old time way when she took it up and do it that. And she also makes cassava chips.
I
So
didn't even know that
you can
people
get them
still
just
make
like
cassava
potato
bread.
chips.
I've had
Yeah.
cassava chips as well. What about the boat building? I thought that was really amazing to actually see somebody making a boat, that people still know how to do boat building.
Well, what actually happened? This boat was started in Anagada in 2006 by a guy named Watson White, and he died. And but they had gotten a group of persons, one from Tortola, one from Virgin Gorda, one from Anagada, and one from Just Van Dyke, to put this together as a project. So one of my friend's son is doing it, and the boat is going to be launching later this year. So I've been trying to capture what they are doing with that, because this isn't something that people see. So, like I said, it started in 2006 and it would be completed this year.
Okay. So we are going to go for to break in about a couple seconds, and when we come back, we'll talk a little bit about some more of those images from Tortola, and we'll see another two videos as well. We'll be right back. This is Corinne Basabe, host, talking to Dean Sportsman Greenaway. Welcome back to Corinne's Picks. We've been talking to Dean Greenaway, a talk show host, a freelance journalist, and photographer from Tortola, British Virgin Islands. Dean, tell us a little bit about how you got into photography.
Well, I was writing for the newspaper, and eventually that was the natural uh, move going into that, because I was just writing, I didn't have any images. And then I think around 2002, I started traveling again because I'd finished my athletic career, but I had started traveling as the chef de mission to the Commonwealth Games in Manchester, England. And after that, I went to St. Martin, bought a camera, kind of taught myself. Occasionally I mess up, but you get to see the better images. So that's how I started, and I basically photograph everything on a daily basis. Even on my personal Facebook page, I have things of what I have been doing. I've just visited a salt pond in Salt Island, just visited a farm on Cooper Island, and all of these things I'm documenting as I go along and move around the island as part of this great retirement.
Okay, so I'm gonna let's see a couple of the images because I want to make sure that we see all of your work before we finish. Can you do a little narration? Tell us about
This
each image
is
that we're looking at.
this lady name is Moving Foy. She has every this is during the festival. Every year she's a farmer, and she comes up with these creative costumes every year, and that's her donkey Jack, and she displays a typical market lady. Oh, well, this was from Christmas. I went down. This group is called the Originals. This is in Pleasant Valley, Tortola. They are actually singing Christmas carol, which we call serenading.
And this tradition is a scratch band
Yes, this
tradition,
is
right?
Scratchman or Fungiban as we
Scratch
call it.
band.
Yes,
Okay.
Fungiban.
Fungi band.
Yeah.
The next image, please.
Well, this is the boat that is being constructed. It started in 2006. As you see, the types of wood are two different colors. The fresher wood is because they found some mites in the wood and they had to change and go to that. But they kept the original keel and things like that from 2006. Typical down in Carrot Bay, these guys go out and fishing, and here they're selling fish. I think actually I was buying some fish from them when I caught them doing it. This is a father and his two sons, the Stouts Albert and his two sons, and they fish almost every day. This lady is a pen lady. She is on the dock all the time. Those are some of the fishes that she catch. She basically go out and catch her own meal every day. She loves fish, and that is what she does. And well, there's Albert Stout. These guys come in from fishing. They usually have crab. There's always a pot going on in Carrot Bay. You can just stop by as they're there, and they'll give you whatever they're eating at the time. Well, this was from the Culture Week. This guy is being taught how to knead coconut bread by this lady, Miss Cupid. That's what's her name, Priscilla Cupid. She was going through them and teaching them how to make banana bread, coconut bread rather. Oh, this is a farmer, Gregory. He is actually blind. He's a blind farmer, and I think during the earlier video, you would have seen a man talking about, whichever fish, he know whichever fish he catches. He's a blind fisherman over on Virgin Gorda.
That's amazing. I wonder how he's doing that. Is he
What
partially blind or totally
no, he
blind?
used to be able to see before, but he told me he's been blind for about 20 years. So he has someone with him. He goes out and he's fishing. This guy here, what he does, he makes the banks, and then his wife and another lady, they would straighten them. So he basically loosens up the soil. And then, their crops, they sell every Thursday in town. They participate in every food fair or cultural thing that they have. And his name is Gregory Smith, really good guy. He started out in home economics, but after he got blind, that is what happened.
It's amazing because the pandemic has made a number of people who lived in more urban environments have a need to get back to the land and having a relationship with their food and just wanting to be out in nature just for spiritual reasons. And I look at the images of the people that you have, they have a really close relationship to the land,
Yes,
fishing, planting, burning coal, making their own food, breaking their own coconut bread, cassava bread, tot.
that's our way of
So
life.
I know that we only have like 4 minutes left, so maybe we can see the other videos, because I know that the videos are at least 2 minutes long. So let's look at some of the videos so we can see all of your work.
Boy, you're looking good here, man. Tell me about this.
Well, I just left up by the school again to join on my ride. So I'm heading home now.
You headed home?
Yes.
Man, you can't beat this man. Which donkey this is? Which one this is?
This is Boy,
This is boy?
the world champion.
Yeah?
Yeah, man.
I thought it was expectation.
He died.
He died? Oh, okay. Sorry to hear.
But this one here, let me get this one here, Hanson.
Okay.
So those are great videos. I've seen the turtle video in the first video and this one. Are people eating turtle eggs?
No, no, that actually is a leatherback turtle, and it came and it laid on Josiah's Bay, and it was heading back out. I got a call about it. The earlier video that you saw with the guy there, like he was chucking it. What he was doing is he was trying to. He didn't find a tag on the turtle, so he was putting a tag on it so it can be tracked wherever it goes. And the you know they come out and they lay about could be up to almost 100 eggs. I get a call as late as 11:30 at night, and I go out with him and look. We watch them lay and make sure everything is safe, and then we erase the tracks so poachers don't come and go with the eggs.
Okay, so we only have about 1 minute left of the show. I would love to get some, I guess, some inspirational words for you for other photographers or other young people who might be interested in documenting their cultures.
Chase whatever your passion is, change it. We are in the age of technology. Take images daily of everything, every time, every opportunity you get. It's going to form a historical record that you can reflect on.
Okay, and tell us a little bit about your work with the Daily News before we go, and where
Well,
people
I
can reach
started out
you.
writing sports for the Daily News, but now I basically do news for them. I'm the correspondent in the British Virgin Islands for the Daily News. So I decide, I take the major things and write for it for them. And I write sports on a weekly basis for the Island Sun newspaper, which is here in the British Virgin Islands.
And tell us where they can find your work, your talk show, your
Well, the
articles.
talk show is on CBN 90.9 FM, Thursday, 7 to 8 p.m., the Sports Beat magazine. I do sports daily for Z-Rod 103.7 FM and ZCCR 94.1 FM. And of course, the VI Sports and Culture Facebook page. And I've just started a YouTube channel, Dean the Sportsman and Dean Sportsman Greenaway. So I'm started to post things on YouTube as well. So I'm always somewhere.
So thank you very much for being on Corinne's Picks. Hope you'll be back to show us some more of your sports images. Thank you.
Whenever you're ready. Thank you.